There's a great quote I came across a long time ago that has stayed with me ever since. It goes like this: the older I get, the more I understand that it's okay to live a life others don't understand. I'll say it one more time. The older I get, the more I understand that it's okay to live a life others don't understand. When I first read it, something clicked. Not because it was new, but because it named something I already felt for a very long time. Sometimes seeing your own thoughts reflected back to you in words does something powerful. It reminds you that you're not alone in how you think. And sometimes that's enough to shift something inside of you. I think I understood this idea early on, even as a kid. I grew up more of a tomboy, playing sports and doing things that didn't always fit the expectations people had in their minds. And honestly, I never really cared all that much. Not because I was trying to be different, but because it just felt normal to me. Over time, I found people like that too. People who didn't necessarily fit in a single category, but also didn't seem interested in trying to. People who moved through life with a different kind of rhythm, a different kind of thinking, a different kind of permission they gave themselves. And as I got older, I realized something important. Not everyone is going to understand your life, and you're not going to understand everyone else's. And that's okay. Because at the end of the day, you are the one who has to live your life. You are the one who has to wake up and look yourself in the mirror. And you're the one who has to sit with your decisions at night. No one else carries that responsibility for you. So eventually I learned to ask a different question. Not, will everyone understand me, but am I okay with who I am? That shift, it changes things. A lot has come from how I was raised. My parents had a goal that didn't always look obvious at the moment, but made perfect sense over time. Their goal was to raise happy, healthy, independent adults. And independence was taught even the smallest ways. Going into gas stations with a handful of quarters to grab a newspaper when you weren't old enough to even look over the countertops. Walking into a donut shop and choosing something like it was a major life decision. Glazed or chocolate frosted, my favorites. Small moments, but they built something bigger. They didn't just tell us to be independent, they let us practice it. And what they created was an understanding that life doesn't have to look the same for everyone. As I got older, especially living with roommates and being around different people, I started to notice something more clearly. A lot of people struggle, not with life itself, but with comparison, with the pressure of what they're supposed to be, how they're supposed to act, and what they're supposed to want. And when they don't match that invisible standard, they start to feel like something is wrong with them. But most of those standards were never real to begin with. They were inherited, absorbed, repeated, never questioned. And I think that's where the tension comes in. Because there are two ways to live a life that others don't understand. One is frustrated, defensive, always trying to prove why your path makes sense. And the other is a bit quieter, more grounded, more certain, more independent. It's the ability to say, this is my life. I understand it, even if you don't. That second version is freedom. Not because you stop growing, not because you stop changing, but because you stop outsourcing your identity. You're allowed to evolve and shift. You're allowed to change your mind, but you don't need permission to exist as yourself. And something interesting happens when you start living that way. You give others permission to do it as well. Not by telling them what to do, not by convincing them, but by simply being. Because people are watching more than we ever realize. They see someone comfortable in their own skin. They see someone who isn't constantly asking for approval. And something in them thinks, maybe I can do that too. So here's what I've learned. You are not meant to live a life identical to everyone around you. You are not meant to measure your worth by comparison. You are not meant to fit perfectly into expectations that were never designed for you in the first place. You are meant to understand yourself, refine who you are, and live from a place of alignment with who you are becoming. Yes, there are values and ethics and principles that matter, and those are real. But beyond that, your preferences, your rhythm, your way of thinking, your way of moving through the world, that part's yours. And it doesn't require a consensus. So if your life doesn't make sense to everyone right now, that might not be the problem. That might just mean it's yours. And if you can learn to be okay with that, truly okay with it, you might find something powerful on the other side. Independence, peace, and clarity. And the freedom to keep becoming exactly who you were meant to be.